Hello everybody and welcome back to the Gaming Power-Ups. Very special episode of Tales from the Memory Card. We'll display my new logo. BAM! So that logo there was done by a good friend of mine by the name of Donnie Archer over at Grab Life by the Controller podcast. Did amazing work. I gave him very little things to go on for my logo, and he was able to design that awesome logo. I'm so much in love with it. If you guys love listening to gaming podcasts, if you love hearing about informative things, if you love just good conversation between good people, please do yourself a favor and go check out Grab Life by the Controller podcast. You can find it on iTunes, you can find it on Spotify, you can find it on Anchor, you can find it on Google. I'll even put it down in the description below where you guys can click on there and go view his podcast. So let's get into it from Tales from the Memory Card. Alright guys, so in today's episode we're going to be talking about Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES. So Super Mario Bros. 3 is my favorite out of the three original Super Mario Bros. Games. I just fell in love with it, from the power-ups to the little secret areas. The fact that you have an overworld map, which was really cool. I love the fact that there was little secrets even on the overworld map, little areas, extra areas you could get to if you went and took the right path, or if you went and got the right item. Like I know in World 2 there are little boulders or little rocks, piles of rocks. I'm terrible at air showing rocks, but it was a rock, and you were able to get a hammer from one of the hammer guys. Oh, the Hammer Bros. There we go, got it. So from one of the Hammer Bros, or maybe it was the guys that threw the boomerangs, but from one of those guys that you would get a little hammer, and that hammer was used on the furthest right of the map, and you were to break one of the rocks in the top right corner, and actually took you into another area where there was another toad house that you were able to get actually a frog suit from that would be beneficial in World 3, which was all water. And you also had another chance to fight another Hammer Bro, but these ones spit fire. I think that they're the same names, but they spit fire, just the same fire that Mario would shoot when he has the fire flower. Once you defeat them, you also get another flute. So that could be the third flute you can get in the game within a matter of a few levels. The first one being in level 3 of World 1, and the second one being in the first small castle in World 1. So you always had a small castle and you had a big castle in, or I guess this would be small and this would be big, in every world. So you could speedrun the game in the first world and only really have to go through 4 levels. You beat the first one, go on to the second one, beat the second one, go on to the third one, and the third one you would beat by going the secret way and getting the flute. And then the fourth one would be the small castle, which you would also get the secondary flute from. So the first one you blow on will get you to the warp screen, and then on that warp screen, if you were to use the second flute, it would put you right into World 8, which is Bowser's area. So then there's a few gunships or, like tanks levels that you would go through, and they were a little bit longer than the other ones that you would face when you were facing off in the large castle. So they did take a little bit more time, but within no time you could be fighting Bowser, or you can take your time with it. The only thing was there was no save feature on Super Mario Bros. 3, so you just played it as a one shot, and when you turned it off, you played it again. So never one playthrough could always be the same. But they did eventually get a save when they got into Super Mario All-Stars. So Super Mario All-Stars was the first collection game that I had, where it had the first 3 Super Mario Brothers plus the Lost Levels, the actual Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan, where we got a reskin version of a game that they had out there called Doki Doki Panic. That's why it kind of did a 180 from Super Mario Bros. The first one we did and we played, and then the Super Mario Bros. 2. I was never a huge fan of Super Mario Bros. 2. I kind of enjoy it a little bit more now. When I was a kid, I was just like, wait, this isn't Mario. I just played Mario, and this isn't the same thing. It's because it was a reskin, because they didn't believe that the Western audience could, I guess, handle the intense levels that they had in the Lost Levels or in Super Mario Bros. 2. So then when we got Super Mario Bros. 3, it kind of went back to that more platforming, but still kind of had the feel of the first one. You know, it's out of the 16-bit and 8-bit era of Super Mario Brothers. It's a real hard tie between Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World. Both those games bring back so many great memories, so much time playing those games, so much fun having them, like playing them. You know, love the fact that there's secrets and there's different ways to get through places. You know, you have your flutes in Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario World, you had Star Road, and you could access, you know, getting to Bowser from there. So, you know, it's just, Mario games have always just been so much fun for me. They've always brought so much joy. You know, sometimes they get, you know, aggravating when you keep trying to make that jump and I fell down the hole again. I'm just going to make that jump and I fall down the hole again. But they just always have been so much fun. They always bring a lot of joy to me when I play them. I get a lot of great memories coming back from them. One little interesting little piece that I have is a little book here. It's a little secret book that my uncle actually gave me. Gave it to me when I was really, really little. You know, when I first started playing Super Mario Bros. 3, and this book here is really cool because it kind of just explains all of the levels from Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. But the only thing I really use it for is something called the end card. So the end card would pop up in World 2 after you beat the second level, I believe. And all it was just a playing card with a spade on it with the letter N like on the spade. You'd go in there, it was just a matching game. So if you would turn over a flower and then you turn over another flower, you would get a match and then you would get a flower power-up. And you would do that for all of the matches that were there. But that book was pretty cool because it showed you all the different scenarios that end card could be, and you know, that way it would help you kind of get through the entire thing. Now sometimes it wouldn't line up, sometimes they were, you know, sometimes it would say it was a mushroom and then it was a 20-cent piece, you know, or it would be a flower and it was a 1-up. But, you know, you'd eventually figure it out and be able to get all of them. And they do pop up from time to time. I've never actually tried to see how often. I just know always out once you get into World 2, after you beat the second level, that end card will pop up. And then after that, it's just kind of sporadic from there. And you have 2 times you can get it wrong. Twice you can get it wrong, and on the second one, if it's wrong, then you exit out, and then you'll go back into it again once it pops up again. So we're going to take a look at this clip here. We're going to go into showing you first Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES, and just showing you the NES graphics and just how it looked on there. And then we're going to go into the Super Nintendo and show you guys on Super Mario All-Stars how the All-Stars had updated graphics and kind of gave it that like HD remake feel to it. So let's have a look.
Hey everybody, so today's clip is going to be Super Mario Bros. 3. First I'm going to show you guys on my NES Classic how the game originally looked on the Nintendo, and then I'm going to swap over to my SNES Classic and show you guys how it looked like on Super Mario All-Stars. You know, it was kind of a HD remake before HD remakes were kind of a thing. So we'll go ahead and get right into Super Mario Bros. 3 here. And I'll kind of just go through the first couple of levels, show you guys some of the secrets to getting some of the flutes in here that make getting your way to Bowser a lot faster than if you were to just play through the entire game yourself. So these white blocks in the background here are important because those, when you hold the down button for 3 seconds or so, you can actually go in behind there, which kind of plays to the idea that Super Mario Bros. 3 is a set. You know, it's kind of like they're putting on a show. You know, I'm not sure if it's ever been officially, you know, said that it's been actually, you know, based on it being a play kind of thing. But it's pretty interesting because, you know, not every level you can do that. It's whenever you find those white blocks or, you know, walls or whatever, you hold the down button and you're able to get in behind them. So, you know, again, I've been playing this game since I can remember. You know, I'd have been 3-4 years old. Still probably my favorite of the older Mario games, as much as I love Super Mario World. You know, I still really enjoy playing some Super Mario Brothers 3. You know, it's interesting as Nintendo keeps kind of releasing it as like, hey, you know, they did that with the Switch when you got your online, when you bought your online, you know, kind of like your PlayStation Plus. They gave you originally 30 NES games for free to go and play through. You know, which was pretty cool. You know, I feel like there's only so many more times I can play some of those games, but Super Mario Bros. 3 is one of those ones that I will continue to go back to and will go through and play the entire thing and then move on to something else. Because, you know, you can pretty much finish this game in not too long. So it's hard to tell there, but that little music note jumper was pink. Anytime you guys discover one of those, you will find that it'll shoot you up here to this kind of like bonus area. There's no enemies up here. It's just you collecting some coins, you know, help you get your lives up. Same thing with those tiles at the end of the, or at the bottom right of the screen there. Those you get at the end of the level. You get 3 stars, you get 5 lives, 3 flowers, you get 3 lives, and 2 mushrooms, you get 2 lives. And then if it's any combination of those in between, you'll get 1 life. So this is the important white block here. This is where you're going to want to go in behind. So jump up here, hold the down button until you fall behind. And you'll see that Mario's behind the bushes here. Still avoid the enemies, like especially the ones that walk on the ground, because you can still take damage and it'll push you to the front of the front of that brick. But now that we're in behind, yeah, see, I took too long, so we're gonna go through here and we'll go back again. But okay, so again, hold down. It's like 3 to maybe 5 seconds. Drop in behind there, and we're just gonna jump in behind the screen here. So you'll see you'll go in the back here, and you'll come into a little toad house. And this is where you can obtain your first whistle. Now again, the whistles, which I'll show you guys how they work once I get the second one, they can help transport you to a new set of areas. The first 3, you know, is World 1. You can't flute yourself to World 1. It'll only be World 2, 3, and 4. And then the second section is 5, 6, and 7. And the last one being Bowser's area, which is World 8. Now we'll go through here and get our second flute. So it's in the mini castle. Gotten hit by these fireballs too many times. Just got to make it through here, but we do need the feather or the leaf to be able to get that last flute. So knock him over, charge up your run, jump, and you're going to fly up here and keep pushing right until you start going over, and you'll see the screen start shifting over. Once you get all the way to the end, push up, you'll find your way into a door, and you found another flute. So now we've got both flutes. This will get you to World 8 in no time. So we will bring up our menu, hit our flute. Okay, so we're here. It may actually be that you need to be in World 2 to... Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. And then we're into World 8. Sometimes it warps you to 5, 6, and 7. I won't complete this level here. It's a little bit time consuming, and I do die quite a bit on this one still after how many times I've played it. There's still one of those cannons that pop out of nowhere, but you can kind of see like this is the last couple. Now you'll play through any of the big castles at the end of every stage, and you will always get on one of these like gunships. This one happens to be on the ground, but most of them are in the air. But you'll go through, I believe it's 3 of these before you even go on to Bowser. And then you can, finally fight Bowser. So I'm going to end this right here, and I will switch over and we'll go into the Super NES Classic. Okay, so now we're back, and we're on the Super NES Classic. So as you can see, there's a lot more games on here than it normally comes packed with. I just recently modded it, and I'll tell you, I added about 50 games to it, and it works flawlessly. I've used the save states for some of them that I've gotten into playing, and they load up just fine. It's kind of cool, too, because they will put in, you can see your original games here. So that's the original 2021, including Star Fox 2 that came with the SNES Classic. So those are all still there. And you go to an option or your folder there that has more games, and then you can continue down depending on how many games you have. I believe it's 21 is the cutoff, and then it opens a new folder. You can rearrange it whichever way you want. If you want to have them all alphabetically in the in one row, it's also possible to do that. So we're going to go over to Super Mario All-Stars. So again, this was available for the Super Nintendo. It came with Super Mario Brothers, the Super Mario The Lost Levels. So this was the Super Mario Brothers 2 in Japan. The one on the right here is the one that we got, which was just a reskin of a Japanese game by the name of Doki Doki Panic. They believed that the Lost Levels was going to be too difficult for the North American audience, and they were worried that we weren't going to be able to play the game, basically. So they reskinned another game. That's why it almost feels a little bit odd. Feels a lot different from the first Mario game that you played. I was never the biggest fan of this growing up because I just didn't really understand it. I was like, well, wait a minute. I was jumping on enemies and whatnot, and it's still really young. I appreciate it a lot more nowadays. It is definitely a really fun game. Still not my favorite Mario game, but I definitely do give it some love from time to time. But we're here for Super Mario Brothers 3, and we'll fire it up. So already, as you can see, the sprites look a lot more colorful. Again, we're in 16-bit as opposed to 8. Again, kind of showing off that stage idea where the curtain goes up and you kind of see everybody's kind of entering in from the left side. But we'll get into it. Again, you can see, a big difference in the map, especially the colors, a little bit more of the detail. So we'll go into the first level, do the same thing we did in the last clip, is we will go into getting the 2 flutes, and then we will go make our way to Bowser's World. So again, remember, it's the white blocks, and now in Super Mario All-Stars it works just the same. Going behind there, getting the flutes works just the same. It doesn't change any of that. You can still do all that. So we'll go up here just to avoid some of the enemies. Fly, Mario. Alright, down that tube you can just get, you'll get some coins. It's in the shape of, or in the number 3. So 1 level down, 3 more to go. So again, you can really see the difference in the colors, the appearance of the game. I did have I do have the original Super Mario Brothers 3 for Nintendo, and I played that so many times. And then I remember when I got All-Stars, it was really cool. It was just like, it's the same game, it looks so much better. And especially because all the little secrets and stuff still work, which is really, really cool. So avoid getting hit there. Got a star. Oh, star's gone. That's okay. Slide down the hill. Boom. Okay. On to the next stage where we get our first flute. Yeah, see, it's so much more colorful with them having more of a palette to use. Okay, so you throw your shell down here, and you should be able to see this a lot more clear. There, that you can see the difference from the white number, or the white music block to the pink music block. Again, jump on that, and it sends you into the sky. Come and get your coins. Again, no enemies up here. Just a little bonus area for coins. One interesting thing I found going back and forth from the Nintendo to the Super Nintendo is that anytime the screen auto-scrolls on the Nintendo, or anytime it's been emulated from there, it'll always glitch a little bit on the right side as you're right against the screen, which it doesn't do it in this game. So again, come up here, get rid of him. Ooh. Hold down, 3 to 5 seconds, drop down, avoid the guys on the ground. Go in behind, and here we go. First flute. Now, you don't have to use these flutes. It's not necessary if you want to go through and play through and get the whole experience of the game. Or, if you kind of just want to, if you're struggling with one of the worlds and being able to get through. I know, a lot of times when I was younger, it was the water world or world 3 I struggled with a lot. That also in itself has a lot of secrets, which are great. But I did definitely struggle with that as well. So I would definitely, that flute came in handy, I'll tell you, to kind of warp up to any of the other worlds and be able to complete it from there. Again, just avoiding that lava because we got to keep this leaf. Alright, come on. Oh, that was very close. Alright, so. And you'll notice too on this version that the door isn't just a cutout, there's actually a door on it now. Oh no. Oh no, very close. Okay, let's try that again. Nope. Why can't I get this going? Sorry guys. Oh no. Alright, let's try that again. I didn't want to go all the way forward to that door. Okay, so take that mushroom. Alright, so let's try this again. Take this flower just in case we get hit. There'll always be a leaf here. Obviously, if you're already Big Mario, you'll have a leaf there. If you're not, it will be just a mushroom. So again, same thing. Could fly up all the way to the top, go to the right, drop in, you get yourself a second flute. The one advantage that this game had over top of the original NES version is you had the save function. So you can save after every large castle. You have the ability to save and kind of come back to it, or if you've beaten it to a certain point again, like, it won't start you, world 7, but on the 3rd level, you'll always start on world 7, or any of the ones below that, but it won't save the exact spot or any of the items that you had, but it was good for saving some progress. So you can already see the major difference here is that, there's more of a background, it's not just black, and you can kind of see that everything, everything a little bit better in here. There's definitely more detail in the on the ground, the tanks, the enemies. It makes it just a little bit easier to see when you're playing this. So, well, that's it for the clip.
Alright guys, so I really hope you enjoyed that clip I put together there. Kind of just showing the differences from the NES and the SNES version of it. Still the same game, but the SNES does look a little bit better. Has some more colors. Has better looking backgrounds and stuff like that. But really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you want to continue to see amazing content like this every week. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know if you guys have played Super Mario Bros. 3 before, or if you've never played it and you watch this video and now you want to give it a try. You will not be disappointed. Again, special thanks to my buddy Donnie Archer for, again, making that logo. It's the sickest thing I've ever seen. So, big shout out to him. Again, guys, he's got the Grab Life by the Controller podcast that you can find on iTunes, Spotify, and on Google. You can find him on Instagram at Grab Life by the Controller. Again, at Grab Life by the Controller. I'm Anthony at thegamingpowerups on Instagram and Twitch, and at Twitter at gamingpowerups. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget, game on.